So as you know, in cases of normal segmental anatomy, pulmonary artery comes off the right ventricle and the aorta comes off the left ventricle. Left ventricular output is going to leave the left ventricle and then it's going to return to the right side through the venous return. And then the right ventricular output is going to leave the right ventricle through the pulmonary artery and then back to the left side through the pulmonary venous return. That's a normal segmental anatomy. Now, even in cases of intracardiac shunting at the atrial level, which is the atrial shunt, and at the great vessel level, which is the PDA, basically, the blood is going to flow from the higher pressure side, which is basically the systemic side or the left side, to the lower pressure side, which is the right side. And then the blood is going to flow through the PDA, joining the right ventricular output and then back to the left side. Now, in cases of transposition, the aorta is coming off the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery coming off the left ventricle. In this case, the blood is going to leave the left ventricle through the pulmonary artery, and that blood is going to go through the pulmonary vasculature, right? And then back to the left atrium through the pulmonary veins. Now, the blood that leaves the right ventricle through the aorta to the system, this is going to return back to the right side through the pulmonary venous return. Now that's the segmental anatomy of the TGA. In this case, the blue blood or the deoxygenated blood basically remains on this side, right? And the red blood or the oxygenated blood is gonna stay on this side. And as you see, there is no connection between these two sides. And there is no way for the blood, for the oxygenated blood to flow to this side to oxygenate the systems, basically. Now, even in cases of the PDA, the blood flow through the PDA in these cases, it's going to be from the higher pressure systemic side to the pulmonary side, which is the lower pressure. So the blood is going to flow this way, bringing more deoxygenated blood towards the lung. And we still have the same problem. There is no way to bring this oxygenated blood to this side. And even if we start the prostaglandin in these cases, the PDA is going to get bigger and larger, and then more blood is going to flow from the aortic side or the systemic side to the pulmonary side. So still, deoxygenated blood is going to flow towards the other side. And we still have the same problem. And it will continue to the left side. So it's the same problem. There is no way to send the oxygenated blood here towards the right side. The only solution here is to have an atrial shunt, and if it's not open, we have to do the Rashkin procedure or atrial septostomy. In this case, starting prostaglandin, it's going to send more blood towards the left side. It's going to increase the pressure in the left atrium, forcing the blood, because of the increased pressure, to flow to the right atrium here, this way. And this is the only way we can send oxygenated blood to the right side. This blood is going to flow to the right ventricle and then through the aorta to the systems. And that's the mechanism of prostaglandin in TGA. Again, the PDA is still going to flow from the aortic side to the pulmonary side, but the main point is the blood flow at the atrial level. I hope that was helpful. See you in the next video.